What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. Big time matchup in the lightweight division this Saturday night, going down in Las Vegas, Nevada, aka Sin City. You got the WBC welterweight champion, Devin "The Dream" Haney, who has a record of 26 wins, 0 losses, and 15 KOs. You know, I heard people call him Devin Malinaja. That's crazy. The man got 15 knockouts in 26 fights. Now check this. JoJo Diaz, ooh yeah, got 32 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, and 15 KOs. So Devin "The Dream" Haney's got just as many KOs in 8 less fights. This is going to be a great matchup, man. This is going to be a great matchup. Take Ryan Garcia off the list of the 4 kings and put JoJo Diaz there. You're looking at 2 of the 4 kings that are going to be facing off against each other. The winner of this could lay claim to be the best in the division, alongside of George Kambosos, who's a unified lightweight champion. You know, it's just not about belts, it's about who you beat. You know, JoJo will have a win over Devin "The Dream" Haney. He'll have a win over Javier Fortuna. He'll have a win over Tevin Farmer. You know, that's 3 real quality wins right there. He can stake his claim as the #1 in the division. George Kambosos got the belts, but we've seen this in the heavyweight division when Anthony Joshua had more belts than Tyson Fury, but everybody recognized that Tyson Fury was the #1 heavyweight in the division. It's not all about belts, man. It's about resume. If Devin "The Dream" Haney wins this fight, he'll have a victory over JoJo Diaz, he'll have a victory over Jorge Linares, and he'll have a victory over Yorkis Gamboa. Even though it's a faded and washed Yorkis Gamboa, still a name on the resume. He can stake his claim as the #1 guy in the lightweight division. This is going to be a great matchup. Much looking forward to this. I think people looking at JoJo Diaz are all wrong, #1. This guy can box. He ain't just no brawler. He ain't just no classic Mexican fighter, come forward, willing to take 2 punches and land 3 punches type of fighter. The guy can box. The guy comes in with a high guard. He's defensively responsible, good body puncher. He's rough and rugged now. He's going to try to make it real rough. He's going to try to make it real grimy. He's going to try to take Devin "The Dream" Haney to a place that he feels Devin "The Dream" Haney ain't never been before. He's going to try to take him to a dark place. He's going to try to take him out in the alley and make this an alley fight. Make this a street brawl in a way. He's going to be technical about it. He ain't going to be like no quote-unquote actual street fight. He's going to make it technical, but he's going to make it real rough. He's going to do what he got to do to try to win this fight, man, because if the fight is in the middle of the ring, and it's, you know, it's a tit-for-tat type of fight, he can't beat Devin "The Dream" Haney like that. Devin "The Dream" Haney is too skilled, too long, and his defense is just too good for him to lose that type of fight. He's got to make this fight a rough and rugged fight. He's got to get him up against the ropes, and he's got to try to maul Devin "The Dream" Haney, kind of like what Brandon Figueroa did in the fight with Stephen Fortin. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But this is a great matchup. Great matchup. Very intriguing matchup. Devin "The Dream" Haney must establish the jab in this fight. If he don't establish the jab, if he can't establish the jab, then he's going to have problems. He's going to have problems keeping JoJo Diaz up off of him. But I don't think he'll have a problem with the jab. I think he's going to be doing a good job with the jab. Now, he can't just throw one shot. He's got to double up on the jab. Make JoJo Diaz reset. Throw the right hand to tame JoJo Diaz. Jab to the body also, and just control distance. If he does that, it should be a good night at the office for Devin "The Dream" Haney. Now, JoJo Diaz must take away that jab. If he can't take away that jab or nullify that jab, it's going to be a long night, because he's going to be constantly on the outside trying to reset and trying to get in. And when he does get in, he's going to get tamed with the right hand. So he's got to take away that jab. I think one of the reasons what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to come in with a high guard, and he's going to try to bow guard him against the ropes. He's going to come in with the high guard, and he's going to work the body, and he's going to touch him to the body with the jab to get inside. That's going to be his best bet. He can't just come in with the high guard, because Devin "The Dream" Haney is too precise of a puncher. He'll go around that high guard and still score with head shots. On the side of the head, you know, on the ear, he'll still be able to land shots. So he's going to have to come in with the jab his way in. And he's going to have to work the body. He's going to have to keep the fight on the ropes, elbows, just roughhouse, hit him with shots, even rabbit punches. Don't care. Just got to make this a rough fight. It's got to be like Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fortin, but just a little bit more technical. He's got to go to the head and to the body, unlike Brandon Figueroa, who threw most of his shots to the body. That's one of the reasons why he lost that fight. He didn't land enough clean head shots to win that fight against Stephen Fortin. JoJo Diaz must land the head shots along with the body shots. Gonna be a good fight, man. I like Devin the Dream Haney by decision win, 8 rounds to 4. I think it's gonna be very competitive early on, but I think Devin the Dream Haney makes the proper adjustment. And I think he wins down the stretch. But I think he does have some shaky moments in this fight, man. JoJo Diaz is a better fighter than what people give him credit for. In the Jorge Linares fight, a lot of people got that fight all twisted. They think Devin Dream Haney won that fight 12 rounds to 0. That was not the case. He probably won that fight like 10 rounds to 2, 9 rounds to 3. But the fight was much more competitive than the scorecards indicated, because each individual round, Jorge Linares was doing some good things in those rounds too. Not good enough to win those rounds, but he was doing some good jobs of doing countering, landing shots like that. It was just that each round, Devin the Dream Haney was doing a little bit better than Jorge Linares, landing more shots, landing more effective punches, using the jab, and basically he was fighting Devin the Dream Haney type of fight, fighting in the middle of the ring too much. Instead of trying to back Devin the Dream Haney up. You got to try to make Devin the Dream Haney fight off the back foot. See if he can fight going backwards. He can fight going backwards, but he's much more effective when he's in the middle of the ring, controlling distance. So I think that's going to be the key for JoJo Diaz to possibly pull off the upset victory. Not a major upset like people think this is, but the upset victory. This ain't going to be George Kambosos beating Teofimo Lopez if JoJo Diaz wins the fight. Like I say, when you talk about the four kings, I think you take Brian Garcia out of the mix and you put JoJo Diaz along with Teofimo Lopez, even though he got lost last Saturday. We're not going to throw him in the trash. He need to move up to 140, and I think he can do some good things, get another trainer, maybe a Robert Garcia or Virgil Hunter. He's out there on the West Coast training. He lives on the West Coast. Get one of those guys, maybe somebody else that I'm not thinking about, that can properly train him and enhance his skills. I think he could be right back in the mix alongside of Gervonta Tank Davis and Devin the Dream Haney. Them the 4 kings. Actually, man, the 4 kings, you could take you can arguably put Shakur Stevenson in there too, but I'm just talking about basically 135 pounders. You know, Shakur's gonna have to move up to 135. Once he moves up to 135, get him a good win, you have to put him in the mix too, right along with those guys. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Let me know your thoughts on who you like in this particular matchup. Devin the Dream Haney versus JoJo Diaz. I got Haney winning 8 rounds to 4, and then setting the stage for a possible undisputed fight with George Kambosos. The WBC just came out a few minutes ago and said that George Kambosos is the undisputed champion. So if I'm Devin Haney, man, I'll be thinking about pulling a Riddick Bowe, throwing that WBC title in the trash can, man. They just disrespecting him in a mighty way. Shoot. They basically, I see what Suleiman doing, man. You know, he looking at that market in Australia. George Kambosos' next fight can be over there in front of 70,000 or 80,000 rabid Australian fans. He looking at that market getting opened up. Unlike what Costa was able to do, he couldn't really open up that market. He won a lot of his fights over here in the U.S. when he knocked out Zab Judah, made him do the stinky leg, and then he lost to Ricky Haddon. I think that fight was in the U.K. So none of those guys were able to open up the market to that degree that George Kambosos can potentially open up. Now, Jeff Horn fought over there in front of 50,000, 60,000, but that was because he was fighting Manny Pacquiao. Before then, you didn't even know who Jeff Horn was, so he wasn't able to capitalize on that because he lost his next fight in the U.S. to Terrence Bud Crawford. So George Kambosos right now is got a chance to really bypass Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu thought was going to be the guy that was going to be able to bring Australian boxing to glory, but George Kambosos is standing center stage right now, and we got to see what he does in his next fight. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. And Tim Tszyu, I'm quick on him, man. He still got a chance to do something, man. If he can get a big win over the Jamel Charlo, Brian Castano winner, you know, he can get that win. He could be right there with George Kambosos, because he's the guy that everybody thought over there in Australia would be that guy. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Let me know your thoughts about this particular matchup, and let me know your thoughts on who you think is going to win this fight between Devin the Dream Haney and JoJo Diaz. Let me know your thoughts, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, and I'll holler.